Hey, guys. Yep. Yep. Get a bell at the game.
And we are live. Yes, we. Paul Mulvaney upstairs, Kurt Valenti and Kenny Kirkpatrick downstairs.
Downstairs.
All in New Jersey.
Live in New Jersey, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Welcome back home.
Thank you very much. Good to be home. Ready for a fun show.
Yeah, we had a little late night edition. Kenny has a long day. He had a long day.
I had a long day, but all good now and ready to roll and have some fun. We have breaking news with baseball.
Breaking. But you know why you feel better tonight? Jenny Hoops took care of you. Went to Rose's and La Bella Pizza for you.
Yes, and Paul got some too.
Paul got some too. You got your Turkey Hill. Jenny Hoops took care of you today. That's all
right.
I'm going to say. Couple of comments coming in. Our good friend Ricky saying, "What's up, boys?
Ricky,
How are
what's
you,
up,
Ricky?" He messaged me while we were going on to the pick you up at the train.
Absolutely.
And
We'll
saying, was
definitely
it
get
fun? Yeah, it's not fun, but we will be in contact with you shortly. Eddie Murphy is saying, good evening, better late than never. Absolutely. Our good friend Henry, late start, huh? Someone must be keeping track of the Tokyo Olympics still. And then Eddie Murphy's asking, is the intro on repeat? Yes, it is. And Manny DeLima, our good friend Manny DeLima, saying, what's up, fellas?
Manny, what's up? How's it going?
What's up, Manny? Henry starting off, the NHL free agency has begun, and boy, Colorado has been in a roller coaster ride so far. Lost a goalie and brought a goalie from Arizona. So the Avalanche are moving and grooving.
Avalanche are moving. Vegas got rid of Fleury to the Blackhawks. A lot of moves already. The Kraken had their draft.
I mean, this is crazy, Paul. We got the NBA draft, Paul. I'm fired up for that for tomorrow night. Are you?
What are the Knicks gonna do?
Let's go. Let's build this team. We got Yankee news. We got Olympics. We got NFL. I'm a little down, but not out, and I'll explain that to you in a couple of minutes. But Paul, how are you, Paul?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing
Doing
good.
good.
We're doing good.
How's it upstairs?
Quiet. Bella just left the room.
Right upstairs.
So far without Bella. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a couple quick hitters. Yes or no answers, one-word answers. I'll start with Paul first. Okay, I'm going to go around the board, all over the agenda. Will Aaron Rodgers be a Packer after this football season? So 2022, is Aaron Rodgers a Packer, Paul?
I would think he's not. I think he'll still play. I think he'll play somewhere else. I think he's on some mission. I think at some point he wants to stick it to the Packers. So I could totally see him playing somebody else after this coming season.
Okay, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
I couldn't agree more with Paul. I think he's gonna leave Green Bay like Brett Favre did, like Tom Brady did. They all do it. That seems to be the going pattern, and I think the Packers are. Jordan Love's not ready yet, but how many years are you going to give the guy?
Right.
10?
No, I know.
So 3 years he should be ready, Paul.
And we're gonna get into Rodgers a little bit more. We'll get into that a little bit more because Eddie's saying Kurt's head shattered when he's seen Rodgers show up at camp. LOL. Well, I got a couple comments for that. We'll get into that in a couple seconds. Let's start with the second one. I'll start with Kenny. Zach Wilson of the Jets is unsigned. Are the Jets wrong for not having their number one pick, who is going to be starting from day one, signed at the beginning of training camp?
I think it's a mistake. Who else is on that roster?
Right.
I don't even know the other quarterbacks on that roster. Paul, do you? I
did.
So I'm going to say no.
They have no veterans. They're totally screwing this up. But yes, maybe.
So you think that the Jets are at fault for this again, obviously, and the Jets are doing wrong?
Yeah, they should have him signed. He's missing valuable time, learning. And it just outside of getting him signed, they should have a veteran in there. You have to kind of have, not that you want to have a quarterback controversy, but you need somebody with some experience in there just in case, this is a bumpy road, which it very well could be. So I don't know what they're doing.
All right, next one, Paul. I'm going to come back to you. True or false? I read this statement today on my home base Twitter. The New York Giants will be a playoff team this year because Daniel Jones breaks out. True or false?
I want to say true so bad. I don't know if I can go there yet. I don't have all the confidence in Daniel Jones. I just haven't seen it yet. So I really want him to prove me wrong. I think we've talked about this on the show before. Daniel Jones seems like one of those guys that could be playing a really good game, 3 quarters in, and then has like this like super hiccup in the fourth quarter that just blows the whole game. Yeah, you know, cost them the game somehow, be it a fumble or some type of turnover. I don't know. I've just seen it happen so many times. I just maybe with some of the guys they've added this year, but I don't know. I like I said, I haven't seen it in him, and I really want to be wrong on this. So I'm gonna to answer your question. I guess I'll have to go false.
Well, I'll tell you this: Manny is he's starting the first flame tonight because he's a Cowboy fan and he's giving us the LMFAOOO. Now that's false. So the Cowboy fan is coming right at you two tonight. Mr. Kirkpatrick? What about you?
I'm gonna come out and say, just like you, Kurt, Daniel Jones got more weapons this year. Make or break season. If he doesn't do it this year, it's time to move on and get a quarterback. Maybe Mr. Rodgers. You don't know. I think it's time to move on if he bombs out this year. Like Paul said, I want him to succeed. He's my quarterback. I got to back him up. I like Daniel Jones. I think he's got potential. And be careful what you say, Manny. Mr. Prescott, I just saw a little muscle strain today, Mr. Manny Dolina.
And Eddie Murphy's coming in, man. I love this. This is like football season now. The Giant fans are coming back. Manny laughing, but Dak sat out because his overpaid arm was a little weak. Manny's coming back. He might have weapons, but no O-line to protect him. Eddie Murphy just said it's about the O-line. So
don't watch out for this O-line. Nate Solder was an all-pro before he had that bad year. Now he had a year off. He's back. Nate Solder. You got Andrew Thomas, who was the number 4 pick for a reason.
And I give Manny credit. I'm going to tell you why I give Manny. But I give Manny credit because look at Manny's comment. He's definitely overpaid. I think he's talking about Dak. He's a Cowboy fan, and he's saying, some of these delusional fans, and not, I mean, all of them, this and that, he's overpaid. He's overpaid. I'm going to shock the world, guys, when I take Dak as my fantasy football quarterback. That's when you guys are going to fall off the chairs.
Oh, you've done it. You've done.
I had Brady. I can't stand Brady. I've taken him. All right, so let me get to this next one. Kenny, I'll start with you. Was Simone Biles wrong for withdrawing? Well, I'm going to answer. I'm going to ask it this way. Did she bail on her teammates? Yes or no?
Kind of a touchy subject to try and say yes or no, but I would say no because she may be she has some problems. We don't know what those problems are. When you bail out on your team, she's got some psychological problems going on somewhere. Maybe it's who knows what it is. It could be a million different things that's causing it, but I don't think she bailed on her team. I think that she's definitely got something going on, and hopefully they figure it out soon.
What about you, Paul?
This is definitely a touchy one. My issue with it is this. It's hard to know what another person is going through inside their head, and maybe this was a situation of pressure and other things building up. I definitely think there's more to this. There's definitely a lot of stuff or something with this story that we don't know yet. I think we won't know it till after the Olympics. My only, call it a issue with how this went down was that this was probably something that was going on for a while. So I don't know why she chose the big stage to bow out when maybe this could have been done earlier. And I think by waiting this long, she did potentially hurt her teammates that way. I don't think this is something that just happened overnight or so like I said, it's hard, and I hate to be critical of someone, especially someone who's regarded as the best at what they do. And like I said, I think there's going to be more to come. But yeah, that's I think probably would have needed to maybe think about doing this sooner, so that the team wouldn't have had to react kind of be caught off guard as they were, let's say.
Okay. Couple more comments. Eddie Murphy getting back to the Giants. I think Soldier will have a bounce back season now that his son is better. And Manny saying Dak ain't worth $20 million. Amen. Amen.
And you know what, Manny? If you got a quarterback that's not worth $20 million, that's not a recipe for success, in my opinion.
He's getting a lot more than $20 million. A lot more than $20 million.
Yeah.
And here's my last one, Kenny. I'll start with you. The two biggest names potentially that people are throwing around in the trade market before the NBA draft, Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard. Will either one of those guys be moved tomorrow night?
Possibly Beal. Golden State.
It's the rumor.
7-14.
That's a lot.
If you're a team that wants to rebuild, guys, what better way to rebuild than to get 2 lottery picks? Even though it's not the top lottery pick, you're getting 7-14. You're getting 2 good players to rebuild a team.
Eddie Murphy saying neither.
You know, if anybody, I think it would be Beal.
Paul, what about you? Beal or Damian Lillard? Does either one get moved tomorrow night?
I think it's most likely they both stay put. I would say of the two, I would say Beal. I would agree with Kenny. Beal has more of a. I could see the Beal one happening. I don't think the Lillard thing's happening on it. I just feel it's been talked about and rumored for so long now. It's just like the guy's never really said he wanted to leave. I don't know why Portland would want to get rid of him. These superstar point guards are such a rare thing. I mean, with Beal, I know there were kind of like some whispers during the season that maybe something would happen. So my short answer would be no. But if I had to pick between the two of them, I say Beal probably has a better chance. But I'm going to say both stay.
Okay. By the way, Jimmy Eiserman saying, "What's up, guys? Welcome home, Kenny." Jimmy's giving you a welcome home.
Good to be home.
Manny saying, hopefully Chicago, LOL. He's saying, I was going to ask Manny what fan he was, so he's obviously, my Bulls need lots of help. Here's what I heard with the Bulls, and Manny, tell me if you would like it or you're not. And again, he's connected to us too with the Knicks. But point guard Lonzo Ball. There's a lot of talk of Lonzo Ball going to Chicago. Manny, would you like that on your Bulls? Let me just read this to both of you guys, because again, I'm a Twitter. I don't know what you want to call me, but I'm on Twitter 24/7. This came from Mark Stein, ESPN. The Knicks continue to be cited in league circles as perhaps the most likely destination for Portland's Damian Lillard if there is a change of plans and the Blazers make Lillard available via trade earlier than expected. So, what do you think of that, Paul? Any hopes high, or you're not going to get hopes on?
I would love the Knicks to have Damian Lillard. I don't see why they're going to make him available. And I'm not. Are those draft picks? I mean, what's going to get him here? So you're going to really, even if it's become available and we haven't seen that's realistically going to happen yet. And if he did, you got to think long and hard about who you want to give up, because it's going to go beyond the draft pick. It's going to give up one of those good young players that we all like. We're talking a Barrett or a Quickly. They may ask for both. I mean,
right.
It's gonna come with the price.
A couple more comments. Eddie Murphy saying D Rose to the Bulls. I heard that as well. I heard that too. It makes me a little nervous, Kenny. Little nervous.
I want D Rose staying right here.
I hope so. I hope so, Paul. And Manny saying he dislikes the Lonzo Ball. And I probably this will be the last thing we talk until we get into NBA later, Kenny. But Paul, I asked you off the air. Lonzo Ball to the Knicks. Thumbs up, thumbs down, or you're staying because you're staying away from the father?
If you could work a no father clause in there, I'm much more attracted to it.
I wonder if Manny, is it because
unless you can do that?
Is it the Bulls' father that's causing Manny not to like him, or he just doesn't like Lonzo? And Mr. Kirkpatrick, what about you?
I'm leaning towards the more not liking Lonzo like Manny. I think the father would bring too many headaches to New York. I do not want Lonzo Ball here. It's just me.
John Beelan, Kenny is in New Jersey. What is going on right now? Yes, he is. Look, he's here. He's here. Eddie Murphy.
Look, I'm here to Turkey Hill.
That's it. That's it. We got to get them as a sponsor, Kenny. You got to come through with that.
I will.
Eddie Murphy saying, heard as well, Knicks are interested in Dinwiddie if their top wanted players fall through. What would be funny is has there been a player I've bashed more than Dinwiddie?
But you know what? Just to stick it to the Nets, I would like to have him on the team.
Manny's saying his father brings drama that we don't need.
Absolutely.
Manny, do you want Derrick Rose back?
Let's do a little baseball.
Oh, yeah, let's get baseball.
Let's get into baseball because we got Paul with us for baseball.
Okay.
And then we'll
we got so much. We got hoops, Olympics, football. We got a lot going on. But let's get to baseball. Some breaking news. Hit him up with the breaking news.
Breaking news, Paul. Our New York Yankees are finalizing a deal for All-Star Joey Gallo. Pending a medical review is what I just heard. Some of the players involved, it looks like Clark Schmidt, Michael King, and some other prospects I don't know yet. I will try and get those other names. What do you think about the trade, Paul? And then I'll ask Kurt the same question.
Yeah, I like this. I thought Clark Schmidt was hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, Paul, not to cut you off, but breaking news. Now it's saying the Rangers didn't like Clark Schmidt's medicals. They swapped out of deal is the current word.
They swapped out of what?
They're saying it's not finished now because they don't like Schmidt. So that's what's going on right now. I don't know if they're going to do something else, but they're saying it's not finalized right now because of the medicals on Schmidt.
I thought Schmidt had an injury out of spring training. I didn't think he was going to pitch this year. I mean, he could pitch next year. So I know he wasn't figuring much into the Yankees' plans this year. But I know him and Michael King are two of their younger arms. But if that's what it took to get Gallo, I mean, obviously I would make that deal. I hope the deal finds a way to go through. I mean, we were talking before, me and you, Kenny, too. I mean, that what Gallo brings to the team as far as being a lefty and, has a good on-base percentage, has a couple of 40 home run seasons in his resume.
His strikeouts are up there, Paul, but the stat that caught me was only 9 double plays in like 7 years. That's one double play a year he's going to ground out into because he's a fly ball hitter. And that's all you need in Yankee Stadium. That's
a lefty bat.
The lefty bat to mix in between the right-handers.
A couple comments. Manny saying, I like the trade. Gallo is a great young player. Beelan saying, Murphy loves the Gallo trade, LOL, but don't like the trade for the Yankees. Desperation mode for them. Eddie saying, never said I liked it. No need to put words in my mouth, Johnny boy. So they're going at it. I don't know. Like, what are
your thoughts on the trade?
We got to see if it goes through. If it goes through.
Let's see if it happens, right?
Listen, they do need the bat. I mean, let me ask you something. How many years does he have left?
I'll have to look.
I mean, is he a free agent? Is he, like that? I don't know. Like, are they going to sign him long term? But he should.
I would think it'd be long term.
He should be a fit in Yankee Stadium. But now, if everybody's healthy, Paul, and say you get Gallo, what's your outfield going to look like?
This year and next year, right? I mean, for this year, you could put Gallo in.
Eddie Murphy said
I guess you'd have to put him in left and Judge in right. Center is kind of this mixed bag. I mean, I know we like Bell right now. I mean, he fits in nicely now, but he's certainly not a long-term answer. But I mean, I love what a guy like that brings to the team, and maybe he latches on as a backup down the road. Gardner shouldn't be Gardner. If Gardner didn't have a history as a Yankee, he would have been cut already. It's kind of a shame. It's sad to see. He really is not bringing anything to the table anymore. Which saddens me because he was a really good Yankee. And what do you do next year? With Aaron Hicks, he'll probably just find another way to get hurt again. But I would go with that. I would go that route. I don't know what the hell's going on with Frazier. I don't know what's going on with Andujar. It looks like Stanton. He's never going to play the outfield, so I guess he's just gonna lock up that DH spot and clog the lineup like he's been doing.
But I don't understand is like
But
who's making.
I would go with Judge. I'd love to have Judge and Gallo as my corners, and then I'd roll the dice with Bell in center.
Now here's a couple of things, Kenny. I'll start with you because Eddie Murphy saying we need the left-hand power, but not another 100, 200 strikeout guy. And Beelan, I 100% agree with Beelan on this because I actually heard it was on I don't know if it was the Michael K show, but one of them, they had somebody on and they made a great point. And they said, why I don't want Gallo because Gallo's either a home run or a strikeout guy. And I think like a lot of people were, I'm not going to use the word misinformed, but I think a lot of people are under the assumption of he's, a 320 hitter, he's going to hit. But I agree with Beelan on that. Like, are they just getting another guy like that they have, but he's lefty?
But you hit it on the button. He's lefty. The lineup has no lefties. So if you have to bring a lefty power bat in, you bring him in. Short porch, the stats show he's a fly ball hitter. You got a runner on second base, a runner on third base. That's a sacrifice fly. That's an RBI sac fly if they're on second or third.
See, I don't agree with Beelan in football, but I agree with him a little on baseball.
I'm going to say that in a second too. But, I'd rather have the lefty power. You got 5 guys on the right-hand side, but you got no lefty. You need some kind of lefty porch. The Yankee porch. That lefty porch, it's been for years we've always said the porch for a left-handed batter, and we got no left-handed batters.
But let me ask, but here, Beelan said they should have went for Marte. Marte went to Oakland today, right? Did Marte go to Oakland?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they tried to get him, but they didn't like what the Yanks were offering. I know, and they spoke to a couple. I mean, Cashman's trying, but I don't know. How many real chips do the Yankees have here that they can deal? And even the guys that used to be attractive, like Frazier and Andujar,
they're not anymore.
They're getting old. They're getting hurt. They're getting sick. They're not showing any signs of life.
Joey Gallo for left-handed reliever John King, and then I missed it. It jumped off. I was watching it on my screen.
The guy that Beelan threw out.
Left-handed reliever John King is involved in the deal.
Okay, so Schmidt's not involved right now.
It looks like Schmidt isn't involved. It looks like John King may be involved.
Okay. Beelan's throwing out a name I heard today, and again, someone else on a different radio station, they said this guy should be the Yankees' #1 priority. They said they don't even care. He's in the COVID protocol, but they said they don't care. They would trade for him tomorrow. Turner from Washington. They said that's the guy you want. You put him, now your infield set. He's got speed. He could bat 1. He's not a home run or bust guy. Do you think the Yankees should go get him? And what would you give up for him?
It's a name that intrigues me. I will say that. John, it's a great name. I like Trey Turner as a player. Would they take Clint Frazier in a bad year? Would they take a Luke Voit? I don't know. Like, they got Kyle Schwarber over there, who's another name that, before we got Gallo, that was another name that was rumored to the Yankees, a left-handed bat that they always liked. They got some players over there in Washington, Paul. I don't know. Like, would they take prospects, or would they want somebody major league proven already, like a Luke Voit? Maybe you have to give up a Luke Voit for a Trey Turner. You got Joey Gallo who could play first base. You got DJ LeMahieu who could play first base. You got people who could play first base.
And he's saying John King is coming from Texas with Gallo.
John King's coming from Texas with Gallo.
So, but Paul, what's your thoughts on that? Like, see, again, even like a Trevor Story, right? Like, why can't they, like, the Trey Turner and that, like, there's your leadoff guy. He's going to steal bases, bat him first. Like, LeMahieu and Turner as your 1-2. Now you're talking. Like, that's the kind of guy they need.
Well, that's the kind of lineup you would think every team should have. With I would love that, and if there was a way to make that happen, I would consider Luke Voigt in a deal because now your infield, if you're thinking of getting a guy like that, your infield's getting kind of log jammed right now. So you gotta, where does he fit in? He's not a great defensive first baseman. And the reason you got to consider some of these guys is because the Yankee farm system is not as chock full of prospects as it once was. Maybe you consider Florial. These are some of the guys you got to, I like that because I just think we got to get Gleyber, and I've said it 100 times, and that it comes up every day. Gleyber Torres got to get back to second base. I think that would just get him back to a comfort zone. He keeps showing signs that he's coming out of this, and I think he's a much better hitter than he's shown. He had his best years offensively when he was playing second base, and I would just get him back there in a heartbeat if I could.
But it just changes the dimension of that team. Boom.
Let me ask you this, Paul. Let me ask you the popular one that's been in the news for a couple weeks now. Trevor Story. Do you think the Yankees have a shot at him by himself, or maybe with bringing somebody over like a pitcher like a John Gray over with him, for like a Luke Voigt, Clint Frazier, and a couple of mid-level prospects? Does that get that deal done?
Yeah, I would definitely look at that as well. And it sounded like Cashman had already inquired about him as early as yesterday. So I don't know if those are talks going to continue. It just sounds like the common theme at this point is that Cashman's reaching out to a lot of these guys that we're saying, and the other teams just aren't liking what he's offering. So maybe this is just more drama that's going to unfold, and it's going to be who caves first. And maybe by Friday, Cashman decides, all right, I will throw in this guy, or I will throw in this player to swing the pot, so to speak. I think we're going to see something else happen for sure by the end of the week.
I'll tell you this: me and Bailey should go to Vegas because I never agree with him, but I heard this the other day. Does this scare you? That the Rays are after Chris Bryant and Max Scherzer. Wow. Does that scare you?
I know, but everybody's after everybody. I'm not saying no because I don't think it's going to happen. The Rays have
can the Rays pay Scherzer? He makes so much money. I don't know if the Rays are going to be able to absorb that contract. I mean, he's got a killer contract.
See, I saw the Rays yesterday, but today I read Giants, Padres,
and Dodgers.
And Dodgers for Scherzer. And it said the Yankees inquired about him, but he's not on their list. So he don't want the Yankees.
He doesn't want to come to New York.
He doesn't want to come to New York. But I did hear I heard the Bryant and Scherzer to the Rays. The Rays are kind of like gonna play our guys, But now this year it's like they're making moves already. They got Nelson Cruz, like they're going. It's like they're going for it this year. Does that worry you guys as Yankee fans?
A little bit. Nelson Cruz is going to be a big boost for them offensively.
Yeah.
He keeps getting better like fine wine. A team that worries me, and I would make moves. I think that they can sneak in the wild card with some moves, pitching-wise. If Toronto Blue Jays make a couple moves, that lineup is scary.
Sick. It's sick.
And you got Ryu and Matt's already over there. Robbie Ray, But you got Rio and Matz, and you can get another pitcher or two to throw in that rotation for the stretch run. That's scary. And that lineup, all the kids, Guerrero, Biggio, Bichette, all the juniors. Call them the junior squad because they're tough and they're going to be dangerous for years to come. And they're getting there, but they need some pitching.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy's not breaking some news, but saying a report he heard is saying that Baez said he wants to play with Lindor, so maybe the Mets trade for him. Just on the Mets real quick.
Yeah, let's get on the Mets.
Again, I heard today is that they're saying that Cohen is going to go nuts, that he has a shot to win the division, And again, I forget I was listening today, but he said shot to win the division and a legit chance to get to a World Series this year. That he is going to go overboard. He's going to get a pitcher. He's going to get another big bat. So he's going to spend money. But I don't know who.
Tell me if you like this. This is where I think your Chris Bryant's going to go. I think Chris Bryant's going to go to the Mets. That's going to be my one prediction. Pitcher, been hurt. He's back. He's playing on a terrible team. You and my friend Briggs always said, lights out in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him to New York. I would love him on the Yankees. Madison Bumgarner's not going to cost you much. And
you
don't have to sell, are going to move him because
you don't have to sell me.
Wins.
You don't have to sell me. I told you that years ago I would take him in the postseason.
And you use him as a 3 or 4 in your line. You know, he'd be a number 2 on the Yankees and number 4 on the Mets.
Right.
And you know, when DeGrom's healthy, but he could fill in as a number 3 with DeGrom not there. And you know, I would take him.
See,
and Diamondbacks, you know what the Diamondbacks are. They're going to try and sell everybody that they can, and they don't have much that they can sell. So, yeah, they're gonna move him, I think.
See, Paul, agree or disagree with this? Because me and Kenny talked about this today. You know, just today or yesterday. You know, as a Yankee fan, I wouldn't be so worried about Boston because Kenny called it they're overachieving. Who are you more afraid of, Tampa Bay or Boston?
I would, and listen, they're both, obviously they're both good. Boston just seems like, I don't know, like they're playing like, they're having one of those years, like they're one of those teams that just like never out of it. That's what scares me is about Boston. Like you could be, look no further than this past weekend. You can have what you think is a safe lead going into the last inning. This team finds a way to fight and kind of scrap their way back in it, and they're like never out of a game, and that's the same type of mentality I've seen in some of the teams that made a lot of noise in the playoffs, and or some of them went on to win the World Series. They seem to have this killer instinct. Certainly a killer instinct that I do not see in the Yankees, but there just seems to be they just seem to kind of have their act together with that stuff. So I don't. I think we're halfway through the season. We're more than halfway through the season. So, I think that's the real deal. And when I see that stuff, I look over to the Yankees and say, "Gee, I wish I could be a little more like that."
I want to throw a name out there that I haven't heard his name mentioned at all on any broadcast, and I want to see if you guys in the audience have a prediction for him. Because I think it's time to move on from this guy. He's having a great year. And they're not going anywhere. They have a couple guys, and that's the Kansas City Royals. Salvador Perez, all-star year.
Mm-hmm.
Royals aren't going anywhere. Who needs a catcher? Who can improve, as a catcher? Can the Rays maybe improve?
I think there's
there?
a lot of teams that would take that Perez is better than.
Salvador Perez, like National League. I'm thinking, you got Posey, so no.
Dodgers got Smith.
And the Padres, so maybe the Brewers.
The Brewers, maybe the
Brewers can maybe do some damage there with a Salvador Perez. Whit Merrifield's another guy over there. Time to move on.
Beelan's saying his Braves could use him.
Braves, absolutely. Whit Merrifield, another guy over there.
Yeah, no. Listen, they have young talent. Solar, they got talent. That team.
It's time to maybe move on from these veterans that have been there and build something else, build around something else. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting trade deadline.
It's going to be interesting.
Sure.
Do you think they're active, though, Paul? Last thing for you, Paul. Do you think they're active Friday, your Yankees, by Friday?
Yeah. I think even if the Gallo deal happens, I expect another one.
Oh, and we didn't mention
what was the deal
trade
of just giving up Sessa and Wilson for nothing? I think there's something to be continued there.
I think some bullpen help is.
I think he's going to keep working the phones and trying to make another deal. I mean, I would like to see the Gallo thing go through.
We need a lefty bat.
I think he had another one up his sleeve for Friday.
We need a lefty bat. And I hope, like we were just saying, I hope I hope we go and get some bullpen help or a starter. Nestor Cortez, who's pitching today, I think he'd be great in the bullpen as a middle relief guy. That change of pace guy with Paul we were talking earlier. He's pitching great tonight, still 1-1. Pitched a great game tonight. So, I think he can be beneficial in the bullpen. So there might be something in the works with a starter coming, and that's why he got rid of Sessa and Wilson. Sessa was more of a long relief guy, right?
Yeah.
He started some games, so there's something in the works there. You're not just, like Paul said, you're not just going to get rid of 2 guys for nothing.
And don't forget, guys, too, and we talked about it before, Kenny, but I don't know what's going to happen come September, but, Corey Kluber and Luis Severino, if there's like any chance, even if one of those guys could come back, that's going to be a huge boost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you had the best of both worlds and you could put Severino in the bullpen and keep his arm, like not overwork his arm, and maybe Kluber could work his way back into the rotation gradually. I don't know. It's hard to say because with these injuries, you never know how well these guys are going to respond, or if they kind of take their time and these guys back into like ball games. But there's maybe still a chance that one of those guys could maybe come back, and that would just be huge if the Yanks are still in it in September. It's like picking up another guy at the trade deadline.
Paul, I gotta say this, and our great friend Matt Staffiero from the Rocky Mountain Sports Report coming in late. # trade Trevor Story.
Matt,
Rocky friend from
buddy?
Colorado. They did an awesome on-site, on-location show last
Awesome
Saturday. It was
job.
awesome.
I was hanging out with them for a little while there. They did a great job.
And here's my last thing for Paul, because again, Beelin's throwing something out there, and I'm going to tell you what I read the other day. And I'm going to ask Paul if you agree or disagree with this. But Beelin's saying Yankees want to do something, trade Stanton for Harper. You want a lefty bat. Paul, in the past 3 years, I read this the other day on Twitter again, and it said the biggest mistake the Yankees have made in the past 10 years is not signing Bryce Harper. And they said, I forgot whoever it was, said yesterday, I would trade Stanton and Judge for Bryce Harper. Do you agree with that statement? Yes or no, that it was the biggest mistake the Yankees have made they said he wanted to play for the Yankees and the Yankees didn't want him. Lefty bat, Kenny keeps saying, Paul, was that a big mistake?
I think in hindsight, you can definitely say it was a mistake. Once that Stanton deal went through, there was no way they were going to go after Harper, I guess, which would have been the following. I don't know if that was when he was. I guess he was going to be a free agent the year after that. I'm getting my years a little mixed up, but that kind of sealed the deal from a salary standpoint. They weren't going to pay 2 outfielders crazy money. But yeah, I mean, to go back and do it all over. I mean, sure. Not only would he be a lefty bat, he actually would play the outfield too. So
right.
Imagine that.
Right.
Now, last thing for me, Paul, and love the audience's opinion on this too. We noticed in tonight's Yankee game, Aaron Judge didn't come in until the 5th inning. Was any news on that? If anybody in the audience has anything to share with that, we don't have the game on. Was there anybody has the game on and heard some news on why that was? But that seemed a little
fishy.
Definitely a little fishy and turned my head, and I think it turned yours too, right, Paul? Because he's healthy. He wasn't a healthy. He just comes in the 5th inning of a 9-inning game. Something not right there.
Just strange, I don't know.
Like,
the first thing you think of was, oh my God, it's another injury. Aaron Judge and injuries. But apparently it's not. And, but, because the Yankees are always so, everything's such it's just a secret. Don't tell anyone that Aaron Judge is hurt. So nothing's broke on this, on that story. I don't know why, were they kicking his name around in a trade talk? I mean, I can't think of anything else.
Fishy.
But,
very fishy.
Very fishy. I agree. You're not going to. You're in a playoff race for your lives, and Aaron Judge is going to sit out first 5 innings of a game.
Right.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. I mean, we caught
crazy.
it. I'm sure other people are. We may hear some rumors and stuff tomorrow, Paul, on why that was. But until then, want to anything else for Paul?
No,
baseball?
that's it.
Paul, you got anything for us you want to mention with baseball?
All right. Well, I'll give this question to both of you since we just talked about it. Give me your yes or no on Kluber and Severino. Will they both be back? Will one of them be back? Or will neither of them be back by the end of the season?
Kluber, yes. I'm going to say Kluber 80% yes. I'm going to say Severino 60% yes. So if I had to get, that's better than 50%. I'm going to say they're both back. Don't know how many starts they're going to get. I think Severino will be better in the bullpen.
Yes.
That's how Rivera was. He started out as a starter, and he became the greatest closer in history. And Severino's got that stuff that he could be a great closer, in my opinion.
I'm with Kenny, Paul. I'm with Kenny. I wouldn't be 100% confident that, they're in the rotation. They're going to go 7-8 innings. But I think, and I like what you said, Kenny, with the Severino thing. I like that as a bullpen guy.
Bullpen help.
Yeah, I like that. So I would say both of them. You'll see. I think you'll see both of them at some point this year. In what capacity, I'm not sure, but I think you'll see both of them.
Definitely.
Wow.
What do you think?
I hope so, and I agree that Severino could be like a great 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
You limit him to that 1 inning. You don't have to worry, or hopefully not worry about him re-injuring himself coming off of a Tommy John. And then next year you go back to the drawing board. If you can start, great. Maybe he releases his future. I don't know. I mean, you hate to lose an arm like that, especially since they signed him to like a 7-year deal, of which he's pitched like 0 of those 7 years so far. So
I agree.
All right.
Well, Paul, I see you upstairs, but
yeah,
great seeing you.
Yeah, thank
All
you,
right,
Paul.
guys,
We
thanks.
kept you a little late, but again, like always, you always do awesome with the job. And hey, we'll get your comments throughout the weekend, see what's going on.
The breaking news, I did read that wrong, Paul. Gallo and King for the Yankees. King is a lefty reliever from the Rangers for at least 5 prospects. So I don't know about this King. He's a lefty reliever, but we all know what Joey Gallo brings to the table.
Yep.
But 5 prospects. Now, who knows? That can mean a bunch of single-A guys, double-A guys. You don't know. But it says at least 5 prospects. That was the breaking news right there.
Okay.
all right.
Paul, thank you, Paul. Safe trips home. Thank
Safe
you for
trip.
coming on. And I hope you like the pizza because Hoopsy did an awesome job getting the pizzas tonight.
Big thanks to Jenny Hoops.
Thanks, guys. Good seeing you.
You too.
Thank you, Paul. All right, so a couple comments coming in. Coach Breslin, what's up, guys? Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We will see Coach tomorrow.
Yep.
Another
forward to it,
power
Coach.
hitter, guys. No speed, still need pitching. There it is.
Just
what we
saying
were
that,
talking.
Coach.
Trey Turner.
We were just talking about that.
That's the guy. Beelan hit. I heard it again. Eddie Murphy saying, "Where's my roses?" We're in Clifton, Eddie. We're in Clifton, right
Yeah.
around the corner.
Coach, now I was saying, Coach, he's lefty, and we don't have any lefty hitters. So I'll take a lefty power hitter, and then let's see what else we do by Friday, because I think there's more moves coming, and I think the pitching help's coming too. I do, because Paul and I hit it, Coach. I don't know if you heard. The Yankees also traded 2 relief pitchers to Cincinnati for a player to be named later. That makes no sense for a team that's in a playoff, fighting for their playoff lives, to get rid of 2 bullpen guys.
Yeah, no,
for nothing.
I agree with the lefty bat, but at some point you're just basically it's the same batter throughout the lineup. It's like Think about it. Stanton, Judge, Sanchez, they're all the same they're the same exact player. It's a home run or a strikeout.
Oh,
You know, they're not contact guys. Now you're going to just put Gallo. Okay, so he's a lefty that's going to do the same thing. Like, you get Trey Turner and you put him either one or two, and you're going LeMahieu and Turner. Now you're playing ball. You know, like when the Yankees, again, and we've said this, I think it was a couple years ago when they had all the injuries. When you get these younger kids playing, right? Was it Boston they beat? You know, what was it? Base hit. Move them over, get another base hit, score a run. Like, they don't do that. And in the postseason, you're facing, the Greinke's, the Verlanders, like, the Coles when he was with Houston. And, you got to deal with the Glass now. Now you're going to get 4 hits. You're not going to get 4 home runs. How are you going to score runs? It's the same. Staffiero saying Story would have been magical in pinstripes. Agree or disagree?
I was going to ask you that question. Would you feel the same way about Story as Turner? Now, Matt, the only thing that would scare me with Story is the Colorado factor. See, I don't watch too many of the Colorado games, but if you tell me right now he's fine on the road, there's no, the Colorado thing is just an urban legend with the thin air. I'm all in with Story. All in. I would definitely take Story. Him and LeMahieu are best pals.
Who would you take, though? Story or Turner?
You keep DJ LeMahieu happy. He got his best friend coming over. You know how that works. I take Story.
He provides a little of both of best worlds. He's got that contact ability. I wouldn't be upset with Story.
I'd take Story.
I wouldn't be upset with Story. I just like Turner because, with a little pop on his back. I just like Turner. I mean, I don't know. Either or. You got to get either or. Either or. Either or.
But I like the fact that I heard LeMahieu and Story are really close. So that's chemistry in a dugout. You got Gardner, who's probably done after this year. And, maybe even done this year. So you need some kind of leadership. And
well, there's a couple of teams.
There's
a couple of teams that want Story. They want to put him in center field.
Yeah.
Like they're saying, the Padres, I think, want to move him to the outfield. A couple of teams want to move him to the outfield.
But if you can bring Story over, you're going to have chemistry with him and LeMahieu. They know each other.
Now, I was reading.
He brings that kind of, personality to the team, which we need.
Eddie Murphy saying this isn't the NBA. You don't need to have your best friend, on your team to be happy.
Chemistry.
What a kick in that! What a kick in the though for the Rockies. If you're watching LeMahieu and Story at in the Yankees.
We've been doing shows. This is the first time we're doing a show you're here, right? Since the Astros trash can incident.
Yeah.
Aren't shows better when we're together here?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know what? Bring your best friend over, Ed. Bring your best friend over. Story and LeMahieu.
All right, so let's touch
here. Well, actually, Matt, this was the proposed deal. If I was going to give you guys Story, I want John Gray as well, Matt, if you're still listening. I'm going to give you Clint Frazier. I'm going to give you Luke Voit. I'm going to give you 2 prospects. 2 of my top 5, anywhere from 5 to 10 prospect, whether it's a pitcher, whatever you want. My ranked number 5 through 10, another hitter, pitcher, combo, whatever you want. You'll get 2 prospects, Luke Voit and Clint Frazier. Does that get the deal done if you're still listening out there?
A couple comments. Eddie Murphy saying it's time to move back to Jersey, Kenny, LOL. Mark Caldero, hey, Kurt, did I get anything about Garfield Hall of Fame dinner? I have mine September 23rd. I actually just grabbed some mail from Garfield, so I will go look through that, Mark, and I will get back to you tomorrow. Matt Staffiero, it's what we do best. Get them ready and ship them off. Tulo, Nolan. Arenado, Tulowitzki. They're...
Yeah.
Which,
Matt's saying Oswald.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be frustrating.
I do it.
The crazy thing with the Rockies were, when were we talking? Was it 2 years ago when they made the little run? Remember they upset Who did they upset? Then they got swept in the divisional round.
Matt will be able to help us with that.
Yeah, they won the wild card game, and then I want to say they got upset. Did they win the second round in the division round, and they got swept in the NLCS? The thing, though, is then they were like they were favorites in the NL to get there. They're not so far away. Like, that's why I don't know why they would just break it up. They got young talent. It's not like they got older guys. Like, I don't know. Beelan saying, agree with Eddie, Kenny. Time to pack your bags, buddy.
Wow, I'm getting that.
Look at you. Look, everyone wants Kenny back in Jersey. Eddie Murphy, Gio at third, Story at second, Torres at second, and DJ at first would be the best infield. Yankees would have to ship out Voit. You said you don't care if they ship him out, right?
I think Voit, Matt, and Colorado fans would love.
Oh yeah,
Voit.
Yeah.
On a smaller market, that guy came out of nowhere for the Yankees. He was the home run leader.
Yeah.
Short season. Put him in Colorado. You're going to be happy over there with a small payroll. He's not. He's a small.
Right. He's
small salary.
right. He's not right now. Right now, he's not. And again, the Yankees.
He's a right-handed bat, which they don't have too much if they give up Story.
No, that's a good deal for Colorado. Like you're saying, if you got a Voit.
Frazier, if you want Frazier, if not, we can work around that. But Voit, I would give you Voit. I think you would want Voit.
See, again, this is where the problem is. The Yankees are just like they just overvalue their guys. Like Voit is not untouchable. Honestly, nobody on that team should be untouchable. I'm serious. If you guys could, like Gleyber Torres, if you could get, I don't know, like say you could get Turner. I know you're not going to do it, but say you can get Turner and Scherzer in a combination deal. Like, I wouldn't, pull Torres off the table for that. Why? Anybody. Like the Yankees, I don't want to move Voit. Why not?
You gotta.
It's what they do. They did it with Frazier.
Yep.
They did it with Andujar.
Andujar, Frazier, Torres,
but there's even somebody else. Andujar, and was it Bird? Like those guys, we can never move them. We can't move them.
And then they come busts.
And then they don't do anything. They don't play them.
They become busts.
They don't play them. Eddie's saying, if Kirk can dream about Rodgers, why can't I dream about that infield?
Absolutely, Eddie. You can dream. Because we got our good friend Matt thinking he's coming too. And Matt's saying, what is Matt saying? No leadership?
Matt's saying Colorado, no leadership. That leads to a frustrated locker room. Owners focused on the party scene versus building a contender. Rockies could be the worst team in baseball and still sell out.
And me and you were.
And I got to tell you.
What kind of Rocky fans?
But I went there. Jen and I went there. And I got to tell you, that stadium's beautiful. We were hanging up in the right field. Beautiful place. The thing that's crazy is, they're in a pennant race. Jen bought $10 tickets. We left the tickets at the hotel. We're like, oh, we're not going to be able to go to a game. We bought $4 tickets. They're in a pennant race in August, But, no, a beautiful park, though. Kurt's saying, Beelan saying Kurt is going to be dreaming about Mahomes as his Broncos owner, LOL. I want Matt's, real quick, what he thinks right now. There's a lot of stuff's been coming out with the Bronco ownership, out of court. Ellis was talking yesterday, so we'll get into. I want to see what his is.
You want to get into Aaron Rodgers?
Cheap beer, Blake Street, party time year round. We went to the Blake Street Tavern over there too, and it was Jenny Hoops took care of me down there. We went to a lot of places.
Baseball's hot. Baseball's hot finally. Hot topic. It's fun to have baseball back.
Let's get into the Rodgers real quick. Okay? I want to get into this because a lot of people. Like Eddie Murphy's all over me today that I'm down. You know what? I'm not. I'm going to be honest. I'm really not upset because I have to wait 365 more days.
Well, let me tell you this. You may have to wait 365 days.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to know if Drew Lock is going to be your future quarterback.
Yes.
And you know what? If he's not, then you're all in next year with Aaron Rodgers.
Listen,
and it's not going to cost you any of your draft picks. It's not going to cost you a star player, and you're not going to give up the future for Aaron Rodgers.
I want you
You're going to sign him to a free agent deal.
I want you to read this text online. Again, Beelin's going to say, but I'm a Twitter guy. Okay? I don't know if I can find it now. Of course I can't because I'm not prepared for this. But let me see if I can find it. It was a tweet from 2 days ago. I will find it, guys, for you. By the way, a couple comments coming in. Beelin told you guys about Rodgers. He wasn't turning down $40 a year.
Good point, John.
But here's the thing. Like, people were like, oh, we're down as a Bronco fan. Okay, so obviously Matt's going to know. Matt knows Woody Page, okay? Pretty connected to the Broncos. You know Woody Page from...
not pardon the interruption. Around the Horn.
Around the Horn, okay? Beelan saying Broncos will have no cash for Rodgers. That team would be so dismantled so badly. He's very connected, and I want you to read this tweet out loud, and this is all I had to read, and that's exactly how I feel. From Woody Page.
As I wrote Saturday, Locke will start the Broncos this season. Bridgewater will play in several games. Rodgers will be with Packers for 21 season, and he will be with Broncos in 22. Clip and save.
Okay. He will be your quarterback in 2022. He will be the Denver quarterback. I'm
going to tell you this.
Unless Drew Lock explodes. Explodes.
That's what you want. You really want that to happen.
Right. You do want it. But when people say...
But if you can get a guy that's going to be in the Hall of Fame,
right.
Look what Brady did with the Buccaneers this year.
Right. But here's the thing. When people say, the Packers... Listen... What Rodgers did, Rodgers is under control for 3 years with the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Okay? He basically forced their hand. That last year is already gone. There's no more. He's gone. That third year's gone. And he has to, they have to, reevaluate what's going on after this year. So he forced that team's hands. People are like, he gave in. Did he give in? Now, he wants Denver. Hands down, he wants Denver. Mark Schlereth says it. You listen, everybody. He wants Denver. He knows he wants the ready-built defense. They have that defense. Their offense, the young, it's going to be electric. It's where he wants to be. He's going to force himself out 2 years early. Green Bay had the control to where he just can't go and say, I want to go here. He's not a free agent. He's not. He's under their control. Was there a deal? Mark Schlereth says there was a deal. You have other people saying there was no deal. That you don't know. But what Rodgers did, basically by just showing up, third year's done, and now we're going to, they're going to make that move, So
now I got to play Debbie Downer. Okay, I got to bring the other big name that went to camp this week. That's Deshaun Watson. Okay. He's over there in Houston, and Houston wants to trade him, it looks like.
Right.
And their asking price is 3 first-round picks.
Which, how can you ask that?
Now...
You don't even know if the guy's going to be,
right.
He's going to get suspended.
I would be are you a little worried at all as a Bronco fan that you guys are desperate at quarterback? You may go try and get this guy and hope that, everything clears his name and he's the third best quarterback on paper, they say.
You know what? I don't think they're going to. I don't. I think, honestly,
there's no worry you got nothing to worry. You don't, not even in the back of your head, oh my gosh, we can have Deshaun Watson, and then allegations come true and there you gave up your future for nothing.
No, I wouldn't go for Deshaun Watson. I'm going to be honest. I think next year you're going to have Aaron Rodgers available. You might have Russell Wilson available. You might have Matt Ryan available. Listen,
I just wanted to know if you have a little bit of worriness, and same with Matt. Are you worried a little bit that Deshaun Watson is now available?
I wouldn't go. But I'm saying if I'm.
No, I know. I'm not asking you as a GM. I'm asking you as a fan. Are you worried at all that the Broncos may go after him?
A little bit, but I think what they're saying is he doesn't really want.
Some comments that I think we missed.
Yeah, I got a couple comments. I'll get to Matt. Matt's saying There are 11 possible 12 out of 22 starters scheduled to hit the open market. Very true. Sitting at $48 million next year, it's going to be tight. Staffiero saying offense has Patrick, Sutton, Gordon, and Massey as scheduled unrestricted free agents. I think Gordon, I heard a lot of talk today, Matt. They're saying, watch out for New Orleans for Tim Patrick. They're saying they need another receiver. Patrick doesn't have. They say Hamler looked fantastic today. So Hamler, Judy, and Sutton. So something just to watch. Eddie Murphy's giving us breaking news. Yankees Rays 1-1, top of the 10th.
Thanks for the update.
Thank you. Coach Breslin saying, listening to Rodgers' press conference today, I thought he was very professional and was honest about his feelings about trying to make the Packer organization better. The defense, he's saying, is they have Jackson, Callahan, Fuller, Alexander Johnson, Josie Jewell, and Von Miller as free agents. Beelan saying, man, Kurt, get off these pipe dreams with the quarterbacks he's listing. But it's not, you know? Why is that smoking a pipe? What you know what I'm saying? Why?
Rodgers is going to move on like Brady moved.
Rodgers is going to move on.
No.
100%. Listen, he would have done it this year. And you know what? Green Bay is just crazy. Like, Green Bay's philosophy is just crazy. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But listen, they made their bet. They do not want to commit to him after 2021. They don't want to commit to him. And you know what? Rodgers, like he said today in the press conference, I kind of feel used.
We said it earlier. How many years does Jordan Love need? 3 years. You're in the league 3 years now. Now it's time, you know.
Well,
you should have been this year.
Then what'd you draft him for? You wasted the pick.
If he's not NFL ready next year, then he's the next Paxton Lynch.
Then
he's the next Ryan.
Then
Leaf.
how do you not fire that coach, that GM?
Right, he's the next Ryan Leaf, Paxton Lynch. You know.
Do you realize what you could have had? Do you realize what you could have had with that first pick instead of Jordan Love?
Yep.
You could have took a receiver.
I never liked the pick. I never liked it. Utah State. You know, you're not playing anybody. I didn't like the pick.
Matt's saying if Locke flops, I have a feeling they go youth, which could lead to a Watson if cleared, or another quarterback project. Beelan, Denver has no money for a QB like Watson or Rose or Wilson. $40 million per, and you need 10 other starters. You get draft picks to sign. Okay, so it's, $2 million. I'm not worried about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, Denver's still, a guy like Kareem Jackson, like Von Miller, maybe he gets a pay cut, like Bradley Chubb's the guy. Like, are they going to sign him to the big,
Again, this is open agenda tonight, so I love the interaction with everybody. We talked about this last week a little bit when the Yankee fan got banned for throwing the baseball and hitting Alex Verdugo. And I brought up everybody else, like Myles Garrett. I brought up Trevor Bauer throwing the ball from the pitcher's mound, winging it into the stands. You can damage somebody really bad throwing a ball that far,
Yeah.
He only gets suspended a couple games. He doesn't get banned for life.
Right.
Not telling anybody that what the fan did was right. Absolutely not. But to be banned for life, now you got Deshaun Watson with all these allegations, and then he's going to make like John said, he's going to make $40 million next year. That's telling kids in today's society it's okay to do these things. That's what it's come down to. Like, seriously, I will disown and bash any team that goes and trades for this guy, if his name gets cleared, that's fine. Go and trade for him. But shame on that team if they go and trade for this guy before these hearings.
But let me ask you this.
Shame.
Why? No, you see, I disagree. You know who you got to shame, though? If the league allows him. That league should say, just an FYI, he's done for 2 years, so whoever wants to trade for him. But if they let you go...
All right, I get your point.
Right, that's the league. Where's the league?
I get it, yeah.
Where's the league?
That's the no discipline.
No discipline. They're going to let... How could... If you let him go, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking him. Mark Calderio, Giants looking at Watson or no?
I hope not. If he gets cleared, Mark, I change my mind about him.
Eddie Murphy breaking some news. 2-1 Yankees. Judge with the RBI single. Matt Staffiero, there are rumors Philly. I heard that too. Philly's going to take a swing. Philly wants him.
Hey, you know what? Hertz was Peterson's guy.
I'll tell you this.
It wasn't this.
You guys are going to be maybe in the same situation as us. There's no guarantee Daniel Jones goes after this. Daniel Jones flops. Watson.
Rodgers.
I mean, listen, Russell Wilson was probably your number one shot because he wants to be there. He always wants to be in New York with Sierra.
If Daniel Jones flops, there's some quarterbacks coming out next year that may slip.
Beelan saying hell no, Mark, for the Giants, and Eddie Murphy, hell no to Watson right now. See, that's the key.
That's what I just said. Right now. He gets cleared, it changes everything.
Wait, cleared or plea bargain? Big difference.
For me, cleared, but for the league, it's going to be plea bargain.
Okay, but a plea.
But me as a fan,
he has to be fully cleared.
I would want him fully cleared. I wouldn't want him. I would not be happy. I would not be happy because I would have to root for him as a person. I don't have to root for him as a person, but I have to root for him as a team.
Matt Staffriel, NFL hasn't, and it's crazy. Matt Staffriel saying NFL hasn't even investigated him yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's got to get something. How could he not get anything? 22 cases, 22 or whatever, 22.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's okay, kids. Go do this. Right. It's okay to do this. It's okay to be violent, and
see, Matt Staffriero, who do you want? Let's both answer this. Great question. Who do you want, Drew Lock or Daniel Jones? I'll say it one more time. I've seen Daniel Jones. I haven't seen Drew Lock. I really haven't. I saw him 4 games. Then he gets hurt, comes back. I want to see Drew Lock this year, second year in an offensive system, good offensive line, weapons galore. This is it for him. Okay? This is it for him. But I kind of seen what Daniel Jones is. I still, again, I'm telling you right now, Matt, I don't want Teddy Bridgewater. I would be so disappointed if Teddy Bridgewater is the starting quarterback day one. So disappointed. Now, if Drew Lock starts and he's bad the first 4 games, then you put Teddy Bridgewater in. But if you go with Teddy Bridgewater, we know what Teddy Bridgewater is. You know what he is. He's going to dink and dunk, not make a mistake. Vic Fangio's going to want to play like it's 2015. You're not going to win a Super Bowl winning 10-7. Nope. So you better score. Teddy Bridgewater is not the explosive quarterback. I don't want him. If he is, Drew Lock is done. And next year, you're really starting all over, and you really better hope you're getting Aaron Rodgers.
And see, I'm going to take my guy Daniel Jones because I think last year, I'll name a couple games. We lost Barkley, second game. We lost Barkley for the year. Sterling Shepard was hurt a little bit last year. Evan Engram missed a touchdown. I forget who's that game against where he missed the ball.
Philly.
Drops it right in his hands.
Yeah.
Perfect pass.
Yeah.
So I've seen games with him too, and I've seen some sparks of him too. But in all fairness, to answer that question, Matt, I've watched more Giants, obviously, as a Giant fan, where Kurt watched more Broncos as so I think in all fairness, I'm going to go Daniel Jones a little more than Drew Lock right now.
Okay. Couple of comments here, and Beelan loved this one. Totally agree with him. 22 cases, but he wants all the names public. Watch how many of those ladies don't do it. Totally agree. We said it all along. Hey, tit for tat. You better you're putting that charge on, but you go public. You know what? It's always, and listen, I'm not saying what Deshaun Watson did or didn't do. I have no idea what he did. We don't know. But the case is, it's very easy just to say, well, me too. I'll be the 20th person. I'll be the 21st person where there could be nothing that goes against me. You put it to where it's, hey, he goes to jail, and if I'm wrong, something happens to me, then I agree, Billin. Then you're going to start to see them screaming away.
He may very well get cleared. And then I'm all in with him if I'll take him as my quarterback. But he has to get cleared. And for him to go and report to camp with all these allegations against him, maybe he is innocent. We'll see.
Right, we'll see.
I don't know. Like, I don't think he would show up and to Texans camp if he was guilty.
Mark saying 3 interceptions against the Giants first game. Get out of here, Mark. Eddie Murphy, I've never seen Locke, but DJ shows sometimes he can play and makes him he looks lost. Staffiero said, I'm going with Daniel Jones over Locke. He has a better head on his shoulders, in my opinion. John Beelan, before last year, Bridgewater was 21-6 as a starter, and you don't want him, but want Locke, who hasn't done nothing in 2 years.
I'm kind of with John on
You
that.
know what? Listen.
I told you, and you know what? I want the Bridgewater on the Giants to come over with Shermer. When he had those 3 quarterbacks, he had Keenum, he had Bridgewater, and he had Bradford.
But I think he's
And
like,
then look what he did with the Saints.
but he's like an Alex Smith. You know, like there's so much he's gonna do.
Okay.
You know,
Now I'm gonna
so
come
much
after
he's
you
gonna
now.
do.
I gotta come after you.
Think about it. Wait.
I
Did,
know-
wait. Did he? Let me ask something. I'm asking you 2 questions. Did Alex Smith win with Kansas City? His record was pretty damn good, right?
Yeah.
Why did they draft Mahomes and go Mahomes?
Andy Reid.
Why did Alex Smith in San Francisco went to an NFC Championship game? Why after that did they say no more? We're going to go Colin Kaepernick because he took them as far as he could. That's the kind of guy that Bridgewater is.
Well, I wanted to ask you what I wanted to ask you. You made me forget I was going to come after you. All right, I'll have to come back. So, John, I was going to come after him, but he interrupted me, and I forgot what I was going to come after him with.
All right, let's do this. We got about 12 more minutes. We're gonna go to 10:30 tonight, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Do you want to do? This is a great topic tonight. The comments are coming in
I'm
hot
ready
and
to still
heavy.
go with this couple more minutes because I forgot what I wanted to say.
All right, we'll get back. We can get back to the Rodgers. Do you want to do? What do you want to do? NBA. We did the trade deadline.
No, I got it. I know what I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
If you had to if you had to rank your defense, where would you rank them this year?
Oh, top 3, easy.
And you don't want the consistency of Teddy Bridgewater, where you only need to probably score 20 points a game, but you know he's not going to make the mistakes, over Drew Lock, who may make the mistakes.
Right, but it's Teddy Bridgewater.
If you got the number 3 defense in the league, I'm going with Teddy Bridgewater.
Matt's saying I agree with that. All right, I understand that, but is he my future? Or no? Is there a shot Teddy Bridgewater is your future quarterback? When I mean future quarterback, next 7 years. 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. Bobby Blackjack saying, what's up, fellas?
Bobby, if
Beelan saying top 3, saying top 10, I'll give you. How could you say, like, you got to be top 3 defense?
I say top 5.
Okay.
I would have to go through the league and see who's better than them.
Coach
Tampa
Breslin
Bay.
saying Ramapo, Washington football team, and Steelers.
I was going to say Washington,
Ramapo, number 1, Coach Breslin's going.
Washington, Tampa. I might throw the Broncos over the Steelers. I don't know.
But you know what?
Ravens are
Kenny,
up there. Always up
everybody's talking about Drew. Fangio's under the gun this year. They're the highest paid defense. The highest paid defense. You better be a top defense. Spending all the money. You're a defensive guru. Get it done. I'm so sick of the last 2 years, and Matt probably feels the same way.
Well,
all right, Denver scores against Tennessee. They can't get Tennessee off the. I don't care who the quarterback is. They gave you the lead. Hold them. You're the defensive guru. Hold them. I don't want to hear 3rd and 6. The Bear 2 years ago. The Mitchell Trubisky's getting. Come on, stop. Steffiel, this defense will only be successful as the offense allows. If offense puts them in bad situation, again, defense will struggle. Great, that's where, I'm a little torn. Listen, I understand. Listen, I want Drew Lock. I'm a big Drew Lock. Eddie Murphy,
I agree with
Beelan. Washington football team, Bucks, Browns, Ravens, Steelers off the top of the dome.
Yeah, the Broncos got to be up there.
Broncos are right there, though.
Yeah.
Broncos are right there. Their secondary
Broncos are there
awesome.
with the Steelers. Broncos are there with the Ravens, and Broncos are there with the Browns. I would definitely say Washington and Tampa is better than the Broncos right now. Right now. Why don't we stick with football and go a little college football real quick?
All right, real quick. Well, let's
Then we'll go a few minutes. If we got to go a few
Let's
minutes
do
with
this.
the Knicks, we can finish off with the Knicks.
Let's get into this. Good topic. SEC, Texas, and Oklahoma officially requested to join the SEC. What's your thoughts on that?
Awesome. And now I'm hearing rumors about a mega conference, Clemson, the Ohio States. You know what? Maybe you should just try and,
Steffiano saying bad.
Bad? I think it's great for the SEC. And the bad for the Big 12. But you know what? The Pac-12 is going to get like a TCU. They'll get a couple teams. I think Boise State needs to go to
Stafford, I was agreeing with you, seeing a rumor about Clemson as well.
Yeah. I don't know. That's bad. But Texas, Oklahoma in the Southeast kind of, Texas A&M will be a nice little rivalry. Don't know who Oklahoma's rivalry will be, but, you're going to have Texas and Texas A&M now.
Mm-hmm.
Battle of Texas each year. And also in the same conference now,
Mm-hmm.
not out of conference. You can have Boise State go to the Pac-12 with a realignment. You can have other teams go. I think the Big 12 will, break the Big 12 up. Send some of these other teams to the Big 10. You have Kansas for basketball going.
It's going to be different. It's going to be different.
I was talking with Matt on their live show with him and the guys about Kansas. They're the first. They're going to be the one team that not getting recruited for basketball.
Right.
But if you could put Big 10 Kansas with Michigan and all the Big 10 schools, look how good that Big 10's going to get. And then, and the same with the ACC is going to get West Virginia for basketball and a couple schools.
Matt Staffiero saying shifts the recruiting balance even more in favor of the SEC. Pac-12, Big 10 will suffer if the Super Conference continues. Yeah, I mean, with the NIL, it's going to funnel right into the SEC.
But you know who I think it's going to hurt, Matt? It's not going to hurt the Texas or Oklahoma recruit. It's going to hurt the Missouris. It's going to hurt the Kentuckys.
The teams that aren't the bigger teams in that conference.
In football. Yeah, in football. Of course, basketball, you got Kentucky, who's powerhouse. But in football, you're going to have those...
Right, because now
Tennessee, who was a powerhouse for years, has struggled to get back. They're going to continue to struggle.
Right, because now you're, if, instead of being the 8th best team, you're the 11th best team.
Yep.
So...
And, Texas, Oklahoma, they come in, they might probably be in anywhere from 5, around mid-range, anywhere from like 4 to 7th best team.
But you know what? You always, I don't know.
But hats off to them, because everybody we were saying, the Big 12 is just an offensive.
Right.
They couldn't compete in the SEC, and now they're going to the SEC.
Well, I'll tell you this, they better change their game plan, because they better build the defense, because
Texas will with Sarkisian.
Right, but I'm just saying now.
Lincoln Riley may have to worry, but I think Sarkisian, he's an SEC guy.
If the Super Conference continues, players are going to want to hop in on that. Why go to USC when you can go to Missouri and play in the best conference? Hey, it's exposure. It's exposure. It's a great comment, Matt. My last thing on that is, I don't know how, okay, the Big 12 is going to dissolve and you're going to, but, like they're saying, you might get a Cincinnati is going to go somewhere, maybe a Boise jumps in somewhere.
I would love to see Boise go to the, well, that's the thing.
If teams, I'm not going to say they're going to forget Texas or Oklahoma. They're great programs. But I think, you're now going to get another team and other teams to come in, and where it's, just imagine those matchups, though.
The matchups would be great. But you know what? With the Boise, but I read something, Notre Dame still wants to be an independent. Well, then you got to penalize them. And they want to stay independent, you're going to have to, like they said, you're not going to get a bye even if you're undefeated.
Right.
These SEC teams are going to have 2 losses and, 3 losses. You're not going to get into playoff. You're going to have a Notre Dame team playing cupcakes, getting in. You're going to be at least at the best a 5 seed.
Right.
At the best. And that's the very best.
Okay. Let's do this. We have a couple minutes left. You want to do a little NBA?
Yeah, we got the draft tomorrow night, so we think we should touch on it.
Let's touch on this.
We could do a little quick
quick NBA.
Our guy Carson. We're not doing a show tomorrow. We're going to be watching the draft. Our guy Carson, Pistons fan, excited. Looks like they're going to go after Cade Cunningham. That's a no-brainer.
Be shocked if they don't.
Me too.
But after that, it's interesting. You know, you got Green, you got Mobley, you got Suggs. Is it Barnes? Barnes is coming up. Book night. They're saying can go high as 6.
High as 6 and as low as like 14. I've seen.
So he's he's going.
I think after the first 3, after the first pick, it's not guaranteed like who's number 2. But I think Cunningham's 1. I think Green will be number 2. Mobley 3. Suggs 4. I think that's how it's gonna go. But I think after that, it's gonna be really open and exciting to watch. I think there's gonna be some trades. I don't know how big the trades are gonna be, but I think
a lot of movement
because Oklahoma City's got 3 picks.
Yeah.
Golden State's got 2 picks. Our Knicks got 2 picks. You know, there's a lot of teams that got more than 1 pick.
And let's do this. Let's jump right into it because Matt Staffiero heard the Knicks are hot pursuit of Duarte from Oregon.
You were telling me that
24-year-old, one of the older playing draft, but ready to play right now. 3-point shooter, athletic. Couple of names I keep hearing with the Knicks are Hoops' boy, Murphy out of Virginia. They're saying they would love to get their hands on Mitchell from Baylor in a trade up because they're saying his stock's dropping a little. Those are the guys.
Well, let's do this. I got something we could do for the Knicks. Let's do our prediction, and it could be a trade. Do you think the Knicks are going to make a trade? And then let's do it as if they didn't make a trade. 19 and 21, who the Knicks would take.
Okay.
Let's start with the bold. If you think let's start with a bold prediction with the Knicks. Do you have a bold prediction?
I'm gonna go Mitchell from Baylor.
Trade up.
A trade up.
I'm gonna go a trade up, but
because I think Thibodeau would love him. Point guard, defensive nuts defense, 3-point shooter.
Yep.
I think Mitchell would be my bold move.
I'm also gonna go a trade up. But I think it's for somebody who drops, and this is bold. Drops. And that's going to be James Bouknight's going to drop into like 12 or 13 range, and the Knicks are going to get him.
Oh, I would love that. He would be my number 1 person.
I was just
on the board.
I was looking at a couple drafts, and I was like, "There's a possibility."
Oh
Bouknight can slip.
He could because like the kid Giddey Spurs like the Duarte, like they're saying, he's moving up a lot of boards.
Yep.
You got I can't think of the other kid, the non-American. I forgot his name, but he's like
the Turkish kid.
Yeah, him. Like you might have a team that takes a shot on that as opposed to Bouknight. So I could see that. Now, if they stay 19 and 21,
I got them taken. I like this kid. I hope it's more of a pick that I'm hoping for, and it's a need. Trey Mann out of Florida,
point guard.
Yes.
Okay,
I like his shot. He reminds me of Trey Young. If you watch him shoot and then he steps back and hits his shot, average I think 18, but in the playoffs, the SEC playoffs, he was lights out.
I like him. I like Cooper I like Cooper from Auburn, kind of another point guard, younger point guard player. I read somewhere Zaire Williamson from Williams, the kid from Stanford, the young power forward, athletic player. But I don't think they're going to have 4 picks, to be honest with you.
No.
Thibodeau doesn't want 4 players. He's going to, I think 2 at best.
I think if we stick with 19, I like Trey Mann, and 21, I think I'll go Trey Murphy.
Okay.
Possibly, if things get shaken up, a sleeper can be Jared Butler.
I'll take Jared Butler.
If Trey Mann gets chosen, if they don't pick Trey Mann and they go with Murphy at 19, then Butler can be 21.
Okay. I'm excited. We'll be watching tomorrow night. We'll be fired up.
We'll be watching.
Hopefully, again, you're gonna have movement. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have trades, like you're saying. Whether it's the Ben Simmons, Beal, or Lillard, I don't know.
Chapman just walked Arena.
2 on, 1 out. Cruz is at the plate.
Oh boy!
Here we go. But I'm excited. Like the thing is, you get one of those 3 moves, then everything is going to go in motion. And the best part is Monday's free agency.
Yeah.
So here we go.
You know what? I'll make a bold prediction now. If anything gets, if there's any big moves tomorrow night, we'll pop on for a few minutes and talk about it.
Especially Knicks.
Especially the Knicks. But if there's any big trades during the draft, I'll pop on, and maybe Kurt will pop on, but maybe Jenny Hoops. We'll figure something out. But if not, we'll talk about it for sure the following week. And
Jenny Hoops is a huge draft night person.
Awesome.
So
I'm looking
she'll
forward
be
to
fired
watching
up.
the
We'll
draft
be
for you
watching
guys.
the draft here.
It'll be the first time I think we watched the draft in about 20 years.
Yeah, together. We get to see Coach Breslin tomorrow.
Coach Breslin tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Matt, thank you for joining us, Rocky Mountain Sports. I'm going to try and hang out with you guys a little bit tomorrow. Got a show. If you're out there, Matt, Caleb's show. I was talking to Caleb a little bit about it, the college football show. And I invited him on our show, too. And, of course, Matt, you're welcome anytime as well. We're going to do a college football preview show, and we'd love to have you guys on, a little West Coast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about the West Coast teams a little bit.
Pac-12s and stuff like that.
We could do the same with you guys. We could talk about the East Coast teams over here. SEC, Kurt's a big Auburn guy. He could talk a little SEC. I could throw a little West Virginia, Miami flair in there for you guys. Whatever you guys want.
Awesome. Can't wait tomorrow, Coach Breslin. Yes, Sharkies can't wait.
And I think Caleb said 12, so that's going to mean 2 o'clock here. I'm going to try. We got a lot to do tomorrow, but if I can't make it tomorrow, I'll definitely chat with you guys.
We'll figure something out.
We'll, at the very least, we'll chat through comments.
All right. Mr. K?
We did it.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Great show. Great show.
Everybody.
It's better not always looking on the screen. Just turn over this way. But, no, great show.
Much love, everybody. Thank you.
Great comments. Over 100 good, nice comments.
Awesome.
Nice hour and a half show.
Awesome, especially we had the late start,
Yep.
I thought we were only going to have Matt and the Rocky Mountain guys with us tonight, but thank you, John, Coach Breslin,
Murphy,
Manny,
popping on.
We had Henry, a bunch of other people. Much love. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
All right, boys and girls. See you guys soon, and